life. She had to get an apple. An idea began to shimmer in Mihi's mind, and she pointed to the corner of the playground where a giant apple tree grew. An apple tree that they were definitely 100% totally and completely forbidden to climb. We could get a new apple. Genevieve frowned. Mihi, that's a terrible idea. But, look, I'm not trying to be mean, but... Genevieve took a deep breath. I think it's time to stop playing princesses. It's babyish and kind of annoying, and the other kids think so too if you haven't noticed. You're not really the princess type anyway. Mihi blinked. No offense, Genevieve added. The worst part was, Genevieve didn't look like she was trying to be mean. She just looked sad. Sad because Mihi didn't understand. Sad because she pitied Mihi. Genevieve was the type of girl who just somehow had all the answers. How to dress, how to act, how to matter in the world. All Mihi had was questions. The princess type? Mihi repeated, the words echoing in her head. Genevieve's frown deepened. Maybe you can find friends that match you better, like Amy Lee or Abby Wu, and you can play ninjas or something. It was like Genevieve had started speaking a foreign language. Mihi felt the way she did when her grandparents spoke Korean. She could pick out some of the words, but she couldn't put them together in a way that made sense. She frowned. But I don't know Amy or Abby, and I don't like ninjas. She stopped. She wasn't sure if she was about to say princesses or you. How horrible. It was just a suggestion, Genevieve said apologetically. Then she walked away, leaving Mihi in the middle of the playground. All around her, other kids played with their friends, and Mihi just stood there, alone. Hurt and embarrassment boiled in her chest, and she started sweating. Genevieve had been pulling away for a long time, but this was so much worse than Mihi had feared. Genevieve's words dug deep, straight to the part of Mihi that wondered if they were true. It was like Genevieve had unlocked a secret fear, one that had hidden in Mihi's heart for so long. What if she wasn't good enough to be a princess? Because the problem was, though Mihi felt like one, sometimes when she looked in the mirror, or worse, when someone like perfect, pretty Genevieve looked at her, that feeling disappeared. Mihi could only see her own round nose and rounder face, her stick-straight hair and her sticking-out front teeth. She could only see the too annoying, too chubby, too babyish girl that Genevieve didn't want to be friends with. But no. I can play Snow White if I want to, Mihi told herself, trying to believe it. I am the princess type. Mihi's eyes fell back on that apple tree, and she gritted her teeth. I'll show her, she murmured. Then she grabbed her backpack and marched over to the forbidden tree. Chapter 2. Mihi wasn't planning to climb the tree. Not at first. Positioning herself right below the most perfect apple, she closed one eye and made a box with her fingers, framing her goal. The leaves on the other trees were burnt orange and threatening to fall soon, but the apple tree stood big and bright with its shiny red fruit. One apple, the biggest and brightest of all, called to her. That was the one. She tapped her necklace, a golden crown pendant for good luck. Then she lifted her backpack, took aim, and threw. She envisioned what would happen next. Her bag would arc up, 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 until it hit the perfect apple, knocking the fruit right into Mihi's outstretched hands. But what really happened wasn't that. In truth, Mihi had terrible aim. She watched the backpack arc up, 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 into the trees, and then stop. The backpack got stuck in the branches. Oh! Hot tears pricked behind Mihi's eyes, which she hated. She felt like a little kid. Babyish. She shook her head. She had to get that apple. She had to prove... Well, she wasn't sure what, exactly. She just knew she had to get it. Before she could stop herself, she was climbing, hand over hand, foot over foot. It was thrilling. She felt like maybe, just maybe, she could leave Genevieve's words behind. Mihi had spent much of her life